Look out into the universe, and you are staring into a void of infinite potential. But without observation, without a mechanism to interpret it, that potential is just raw cosmic static, holding no accessible meaning. Something has to process that static. A bridge is required to cross the gap, so that an abstract thought can materialize into a spoken word, or a biological need can trigger a physical action. This diagram shows the human nervous system acting as the ultimate biological translator, processing chaotic stimuli into internal responses. This network mirrors a broader esoteric framework. As above, so below, suggests the macrocosm operates through the exact same master conduit. This is Mercury. Within this system, the planet functions as the conceptual messenger layer of reality, an archetypal node rather than a mere physical body. Within this esoteric system, Mercury serves as the primary regulating node. It governs how patterns of language, commerce, and human consciousness connect and interact across the network. Tracing this archetype has nothing to do with deterministic fortune-telling. It is a way to map how reality's raw data is actively decoded by human consciousness to create meaning. This scientific diagram maps concentric orbital paths. In astrological language, the clarity of translated information is dictated entirely by precise geometric angles. When planets align at 120 degrees, they form a trine. This mathematical relationship creates a continuous loop where data flows without friction. Externally, this harmonic angle correlates to periods of high efficiency. Biological nervous systems remain calm, vocalized language matches internal intent, and global trade operates without interruption. This structural alignment creates a stable, unobstructed conduit for complex information transfer. When the messenger layer is aligned harmoniously in this way, the gap between isolated entities vanishes. Information moves in perfect symbiosis. Our communication networks and supply chains thrive on this kind of systemic structural alignment rather than brute effort. But when that geometric signal encounters structural resistance, the translation systems begin to fail. A square aspect is a rigid 90-degree angle. It generates intense, inescapable pressure and friction between 2 points of information. Move those points to a 180-degree opposition, and it creates a polarized standoff. The communication signal gets trapped in an unresolvable binary feedback loop. Friction at this layer translates to friction on the ground. When the geometric alignment lacks a release for its pressure, communication channels become clogged. These structural bottlenecks are experienced as mass miscommunication or the sudden stalling of global logistics. Humanity has mapped the sky using archetypes for thousands of years, specifically to anticipate these periods of severe signal disruption and societal stress. This map of the constellations illustrates how ancient cultures used mythological markers and star patterns to categorize eras of linguistic and commercial instability. Tracing these complex, tangled constellation lines provided early civilization with a rudimentary data visualization of challenging cosmic topography. Signal distortion is never a cosmic punishment. It is a necessary structural pressure test, designed to force the evolution of our communication networks. Occasionally, the energetic signal reflects backward instead of projecting outward. This is the phenomenon of retrograde. This retrograde energy forces the overall network to temporarily abandon external commerce and turn inward to review its internal logic. When the signal folds backward, external realities like technological infrastructure and objective language often blur, mimicking the illusions of a Neptune transit. We see remnants of this when ancient scholars struggled to record truth during periods of obscured information, leaving behind faded manuscripts and fragmented codes. Retrograde distortion acts as a vital, recurring system update. It proves that the messenger layer requires periods of internal reflection to maintain long-term integrity. Zooming out, we see a system of symbolic correspondence. Human errors, transit delays, and market volatility represent the physical manifestation of underlying geometric shifts. This is archetypal weather. The system maps prevailing geometric conditions, providing a readout of the signal's quality, while leaving the navigation to the individual. Mastering this esoteric system means recognizing when the weather favors external physical trade and when it demands internal nervous system regulation. The individual tensions, the squares, and the trines all ultimately nest perfectly together, creating a singular, balanced field of human experience. Astrology functions as a symbolic map for the consciousness. By mastering the messenger layer, we stop reacting to the static and reclaim deliberate control over our own signal.